Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Pastor Eric Brown with Daily Manna for your soul. Happy Monday to you. I pray the Lord is blessing you real good right now. Look, just want to bring you a word of encouragement, something to help you along your way. And today that word is God has never left you. You know, there are times when it seems like that you're all alone, that you're walking this way by yourself. There are times when it seems like God is nowhere to be found. Oh, but I'm here to tell you that no matter what you're dealing with, that God has never left you. Can I tell you about Jacob over there in Genesis chapter 28? Jacob has found himself on the run. He has left his father's house. His father has suggested that you go to your mother's family's country and find a wife. But really, in reality, Jacob is on the run. Why? Because he's lived up to his name. His name is trickster, supplanter, basically a con man. And Jacob has conned and swindled his brother out of his birthright. Jacob has manipulated his father, who is blind, into thinking that he was Esau, so Isaac could bestow the blessing on him. And now he has the blessing, he has the birthright, he has the wealth of his father in his control, but he can't even use it right now because he can't stay there because Esau is so angry with him. Esau wants to kill him. So now Jacob is on the run, and it's seemingly like he's out there all by himself, or he's in the wilderness. He's in a desert place and he's tired. It's at night and he lays down to go to sleep. But here is where things begin to change. For God has given him a vision in the night hours. God gave him a vision, and Jacob saw the angels at the top of a ladder, and they were descending and then going back up to heaven and descending to earth and going back up to heaven. And he saw the Lord standing at the top of the ladder, and the Lord began to speak to him. The Lord began to speak to him of the promises of Abraham and Isaac, the promises that God had first gave to Abraham, talking about your seed shall be numbered like the stars in the sky and the dust of the earth, that your seed shall become a great nation, that I will give you this promised land, this land of Canaan for your inheritance. God even began to tell Jacob that I see you leaving, I see you going, but I'm going to go with you wherever you go, and I'm going to bring you back even to this place. And Jacob woke up and he was excited because he said, God is in this place, and I didn't even know it, but I really believe that he wasn't excited about God being in this particular place. I think he was excited because God was still with him. See, God had a word for Jacob even when he was in his mother's womb. God had a plan for Jacob even in his mother's womb. God began to speak words of life and promise over Jacob. But when Jacob was born, Jacob began to do things that were outside of the will of God, that were not walking in righteous ways. And it looked like that he had disqualified himself from God walking with him. But God was here to tell him that you are not disqualified from me being with you. I'm still with you. No, I don't condone the things that you have done, but I'm still with you. And somebody needs to get that. Somebody is out here living a life that is apart from God, and you're thinking that because I'm apart from God now, that God is not thinking about me. God is not looking after me. God is not concerned about me. But yes, he is. God is concerned about you because God has a word for you. God has a promise for you. God has plans for you. Oh, look, the devil did not create you. The enemy did not create you. You were created by God. We are created in the image of God. The only plan the enemy has for you is your destruction. But God wants to speak life over you and life into you. And so no matter what you've done, as long as you're still breathing, God got to work for you. There's an opportunity for you to step out of the old way into the new way of God. There's an opportunity for you to see what God has for you and to follow his will, his way, and his plan for your life. I'm here to tell you that just like for Jacob was messing up on every front. He was doing all kind of stuff. But God said, I have never left you. And because I've never left you, I'm still walking with you. I'm still here to deliver you, to redeem you. I'm still here to save you. I'm still here to bless you. I'm still here to see you through. That's what he told Jacob. Jacob wasn't living right when God began to speak to him, but God wanted Jacob to know that still got thoughts about you. I still love you. David wrote these words, and we need to get this. David wrote these words that if I make my bed in hell, God is there. If I fly to the uttermost parts of the earth, God is there. Where can I go to escape the presence of the Lord? Nowhere. God is always watching over you. God is always looking out for you. God wants to deliver you. God wants to set you free. And so because God has these plans for you, God said, I'll never leave you. God said, I'll never forsake you, even until the end of the age. I'm always be there. And when Jacob looked up and he said, God is in this place, what he truly meant was, God is still with me. God is still with me. Jacob repented. Jacob built an altar. Jacob gave praise and honor unto God. Jacob began to go on his journey. Jacob was able to go on the rest of his journey with enthusiasm. Why? Because he found out that God was still with him. He found out that God had never left him. He found out that God still favored him. All he had to do was to get back in line with God, because God had never got out of line with him. God was still there. God was still watching. God was still providing. God was still being the God of his fathers, the God of his life. All those people that had prayed for Jacob, they didn't pray in vain. They prayed to a God who had never left Jacob. And I'm here to tell you, somebody's praying for you, somebody's speaking to you. And if you think nobody's praying for you today, let me tell you this, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you to get back in line with God. I'm praying for you to do everything that God has called you to do. I'm praying for you to step up and step out in faith and watch what God will do in your life. I'm praying for you because I know that God will never leave you. I know that God hasn't left you. I know God got to work for you. Look, you be blessed today. You be encouraged today. Continue to love the Lord. Have a great day. Follow peace with all men. And watch this. Peace to you. Be blessed.